The Wichita Fire Department is announcing some equipment and personnel improvements designed to improve the services that we're providing to the city, as well as enhancing firefighter safety and maximizing our new and existing resources. 10 new fire apparatus, 9 of which are fire engines and 1 is a truck company, have been placed in service throughout 9 of the city's 22 fire stations. The department is utilizing a replacement plan based on age, mileage, and maintenance costs to determine how often the apparatus need to be replaced, and we work closely with Fleet Services. Jay Newton is here, by the way, if you do have any specific questions about those fire trucks that were purchased and placed on track. Those fire trucks went to various stations, such as station number 1, station number 2, station number 4, station number 7, station number 8, station number 9, station number 10, station number 11, and station number 12. Some of the advantages of the new Pierce fire apparatus is better driver visibility for when we're driving both emergency traffic and regular traffic. They have lower hose beds, so it reduces the likelihood that somebody may be injured or hurt pulling the fire hose out of the back to initiate firefighting operations. They all carry a Jaws of Life unit, which is obviously very handy when we make car wrecks and entrapments and things like that to help people obviously get free of whatever predicament that they're in. And it has additional improvements to the pumping operations where we can take water into the fire truck or get water out of the fire truck with more options. There have been some bumps in the road, admittedly. There's always going to be little things that happen whenever you purchase that kind of equipment. These are custom designed, custom made by Pierce for the Wichita Fire Department. And we're working closely with our partners in fleet maintenance, our fire shop, obviously, and with Pierce to get those things addressed. Our second announcement, and part of the reason that Matt's up here with me, is that we're proud to let you all know that 17 new firefighters started training yesterday, Monday morning, out at the Regional Training Center. We were able to obtain a grant called the SAFER Grant, that stands for Staffing Apparatus for Emergency Response, to be able to hire 6 of those firefighters. We did get some preference for military experience, military veterans, and some military veterans have been hired. The fire department worked closely with the International Association of Firefighters, Local 135, to secure the funding, and those new firefighters are scheduled to graduate later this fall. Our final thing, and then we'll take some questions, is that we're up here to thank and to continue to thank our area partners for their participation in our smoke alarm campaign. Since that campaign kicked off, we've installed over 1,000 smoke alarms and nearly that many batteries. As you all know, we had 11 fire fatalities last year, which is way above what we normally have. And this campaign has really helped out in the form of being able to supply smoke alarms and batteries for people who can't afford them or don't have them, don't have a means to get them. And we take those out and we install them. And our partners provide those smoke alarms to us. So I want to acknowledge Schofield Automobile Dealerships, Safe Kids, Interstate All-Pack Batteries, Shelter Insurance, Tyco Simplex Grinnell, and finally the Clifford Davis family, who have set up a memorial fund in his honor. He died earlier this year, and they've donated nearly $1,400 to help us get smoke alarms. And so we want to thank them and acknowledge all of them. We'll be happy to answer any questions you may have on any of those topics.
Who takes the fire trucks?
The city.
Do you have a dollar amount on that, Brian?
That's a Jay Newton question.
Oh.
This is Jay Newton.
Yeah, it's close to that. Excuse me, sir.
Come on up, Jay.
Okay. Jay Newton, Fleet and Facilities Superintendent for the City of Wichita. We paid Pierce $6.5 million approximately for the 10 fire apparatus.
And was that budgeted, obviously, with the fire department?
That was budgeted through the city's 10-year capital improvement program.
And I don't know who answers this, but how bad was the current equipment? I mean, how desperate were you to get this new stuff?
Well, we typically like to replace 3 to 4 pieces of equipment per year, and it had been 2007 since we'd made a major purchase. So, and we made that purchase, the latest one, in 2013. So we had purchased a few apparatus in between, but we were getting behind. And the apparatus that are coming out of service are primarily 1990s models. So
Mid to late 90s models.
Right.
And those were apparatus that we primarily used in reserve status. In case one of our frontline machines went down, we put those in place.
What will become of those? I mean, will you try to sell those to outlying communities and stuff? Is that how that works?
Yeah, they're advertised right now on Purple Wave. And then we keep some of the fire trucks that are being replaced now, we will keep in place in reserve status in the event that one of our frontline machines goes down or needs routine maintenance, or if we have some type of severe weather event or something that happens that we need to bring staffing levels up to call in firefighters, we have apparatus with equipment on it to put them on.
Talk a little bit about how important it is to keep this equipment upgraded. Obviously, it makes your job safer.
Yeah. Well, people call 911 and they expect us to be there very quickly. And so, we want to provide our firefighters with the best equipment that money can buy, with safe equipment, with equipment that's useful to them and that's reliable. And we have a great relationship with our fleet department. They do a great job of keeping that stuff in good shape and available and online. We have a 24/7 business. We're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And so it's imperative that our fire trucks are in good shape, and it's also important to us to get them replaced whenever they start showing signs of significant wear and tear. It's also more cost effective to replace them. As they get older, it gets more difficult to get parts, it gets more difficult to repair them, and it becomes a cost issue. So it's a very good news for our community to have these fire trucks on track.
These 17 new firefighters, are they helping replenish a shortage or filling positions that other folks are retiring from, or how are they going to fit into this mix, so to speak?
Kind of a combination of both those things. We did have some issues last year during the budget process. We had to reallocate some staff and take some equipment off track, change the way that it was deployed, and so 6 of these positions are designed to put those apparatus back on track where they were originally at, so those will be added positions. The rest of those are to simply replace folks who have retired or resigned or moved on in their career. And that's something that we obviously experience every year. About this time of year, we start having retirements and start planning on having a recruit class to keep our staffing levels steady.
Can you say where those positions and the apparatus that are basically being put back online are?
Yeah, Station 6 is one of those. It's Station 638. It's a co-located station out in East Wichita that we co-locate with Sedgwick County Fire. The other position or the other apparatus that we're looking at having to work with is Squad 2, which is at Station 2 located at 1240 South Broadway. So Engine 6 and Squad 2 is primarily where 6 of those positions would be dedicated to.
How many fatalities we had this year?
This year we've had 2, so I'm not superstitious, but it's been a much better year, and we want to encourage folks to continue to obviously adhere to fire prevention type activities and safety, and those smoke alarms work. They save lives. They give you precious seconds to react and respond to a fire.
Have you had examples of fires this year where people talked about hearing the smoke alarm and getting out as a result?
Yeah, absolutely. And we hear those things. We ask our firefighters oftentimes when they're fighting the fire, did they hear the smoke alarm? And the good news is that is usually the case. Clearly, when we don't hear smoke alarms, we get concerned, and we try to work with the property owners to ensure that they're complying with the city ordinance. And if they have issues getting them, then we try to install some for them, and something's better than nothing.
Brad, if we want to come out and get some video of some of this new equipment.
Yes.
Is it online?
Yeah, it's all online. Station 2 has acquired 2 of those pieces of equipment, so it'd give you a little more variety, because there's an engine and a brand new truck or an aerial platform at Station 2, and we could have you guys swing down there and do some still shots if
Is
you'd
that the
like.
one on Broadway?
South Broadway, 1240. Yep.
1240 South Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
Can we just go down there?
Sure.
and
Yeah, I'll
take
give them a phone
time?
call and let them
Okay.
know. Yep.
Thank
Matt's there today, so that's
Oh,
perfect.
perfect.
Lieutenant Schulte's stationed there, so.
Yeah, I'll call back, because I'm doing the homicide, but I'm sure someone will want to come down and get some video.
His cell phone number is, I'm kidding.
We could use that. We'll let you know when we're coming down.
There you go.
I'm going to write it on the wall. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you all very much. We appreciate- oh, go
I'd
ahead.
just like to thank council, because they had to approve this grant that we received, and for their continued support for the fire service and keeping us staffed. This grant's $833,000 for those 6 positions. It covers 2 years, potentially a third year for that. For the military guys, there's a potential to get a third year, but council had to approve this and accept this grant, and they did, and that just shows their commitment to the citizens providing fire protection. So I want to thank them.
How much does it mean to you to have those positions restored that had to be cut because of budget constraints previously?
It means all the world for not only the safety of the citizens, but the safety of our firefighters. It takes, on an average, over 17 firefighters to control a house fire. And, when you lose positions, you've got to send trucks from further away to get those there. So this will allow more firefighters to get to the scenes quicker.
We have a staffing goal every day of having 117 firefighters on duty, and when those positions were eliminated, we went down to 115. So this gives us 2 more personnel, which is 1 more personnel on 2 different types of apparatus to continue to provide the kind of person power, I guess I could say, people power at emergencies that we need.